It is Qui-Gon Jinn Tuesday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. We'll begin tonight by taking a gander at the Mountain Poems, composed by Stonehouse, translated by Red Pine, adapted and amplified by yours truly. Please chant with me. I made my home west of Cha River, where water fills Sky Lake and the moon fills the stream. So we begin with a reference to interdependence. Let's continue. Strangers are frightened by the mountain's heights, but once they arrive, they know the trail. There's much disinformation about mindfulness and meditation. But once people receive authentic instructions and apply it, it's like coming home. Dried snail shells on rock walls, fresh tiger tracks in the mud. Superficially, tigers are big and ferocious, snails are small and innocuous. But tigers are stuck in the mud and snails can crawl up walls, which kind of seems like a superpower, don't you think? There is power in being bombastic and ferocious, but there's even more abilities unlocked through gentleness and being non-assuming. I leave my door open when spring days get longer, when paluana trees bloom and thrush birds call. When we are prisoners of fear, we shut ourselves off needlessly from the splendors of life. Doing the opposite, however, opening up to life. The wisdom and peace we desire seeks us out like a tired bird seeking a branch upon which to perch. To glimpse the fluttering of shy birds, I do not always close the door I made. Once again, fear is wired into our amygdala. It is a survival mechanism. The problem with us as a species is not the potential of fear or the experience of fear, but rather the tyranny of fear that cuts us off from the splendors of life. Notice all the fear that swirls in your heart as you breathe in, but remember to relax and release as you breathe out. Now, we're going to stop here, I should say, because I'm going to parse this out for the remainder of the lesson. So, real quick, I'm going to put a visual aid here to remind me. And if I'm really clever, I'll remember I made this. Now let us turn our attention to the primary practice. I'm going to tap that and bring us back to the latest iteration of very easy meditation. Please chant with me. Whatever comes, may all beings let it come. Whatever stays, may all beings let it stay. Whatever goes, may all beings let it go. Welcome to the first of 5 mindful crease counting meditations, We're going to begin by exploring the 3 phases of Bengali crease counting after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I could become your neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. And now I'd like to share with you the 3 phases of Bengali crease counting. The first phase is working with our right hand exclusively. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we turn our attention to the left hand. When we multiply these 12 inhalations by 8, we get 96 inhalations. We keep track of those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. Now we come to phase 3, where we work with both our hands. Let us rest the great knuckle of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to effortlessly and automatically coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Each time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. This is known as mindfulness or sati. Each time we silently and mentally recite the 1-syllable verb ease during our exhalation. We are wired to physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation. This is known as meditation or samadhi. Together, let us practice right now. I think it could be quite fun if together as a team we chanted the second collection of poems. Let's go to, here we go. To glimpse the fluttering of shy birds, I do not always close the door I made. So many times, we are the architects of our own prison. A prison comprised of fear and aggression and preconceptions. When we exercise the effort to transcend that prison, we can open ourselves up to great beauty. A piece of jade is worth more than a cliff, but gold cannot buy a lifetime of freedom. Capitalism has been around in one form or another. Exploiting others in the name of power and greed has been around for a very long time. Yet despite its lofty claims, it cannot buy freedom. The sound of icy falls on a dawnlit snowy ridge. The sight of distant peaks through leafless autumn woods. So whether we call it autumn or whether we call it falls, summer turns into winter. Change is an inevitability. We fight against it at our peril. Mist lifts from ancient cedars, and clear days last forever. Even though logic and experience tell us of change, viscerally it seems to blindside us. Right and wrong are not found in the clouds. The source of our morals are not the laws handed down from real or imagined celestial entities. There is a tissue in the skull of most complex life forms, described as the anterior cingulate gyrus. It functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy. When we are guided by empathy, we are good people. When our empathy is strengthened by mindfulness and meditation, we are great people. So quick like a bunny. Excellent. Welcome to the second of 5 mindful crease counting meditations. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to effortlessly and automatically coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Each time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. Each time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are wired to physically relax and mentally release whatever it is that we noticed during our previous inhalation. Together, let us practice right now. Together as a team, let's chant the third passage of Stonewall's Mountain Poems. Sorry, Stonehouse. Grave upon grave buried beneath weeds, before their funerals they carried gold seals. The rich, death is an inevitability for rich or poor alike, regardless of whether one's station is high or low. We all eat, we all drink, we all pee, we all poop, we all die. But desire is no match for detachment, and how can ambition compete with restraint? So, really for the last 13 millennia, since the Neolithic Revolution, patriarchy has been lauded. Being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel have been seen as a way to get ahead. But they're nothing compared to the power of gentleness, to the power of matriarchy, to the power of being flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Or to put it more succinctly, detached and restrained. Lured by big golden fish and up in kettles, and cage magic wings fly high. Worldly affairs do not concern a hermit. So, Shakespeare coined the phrase, or at least to the best of my understanding, he coined the phrase, hoist on his own petard, harmed by our own grasping and reaching. However, when we transcend that, we're able to unfurl our metaphoric wings because we have been set free from our preoccupation with the petty. Whoops, sorry about that. I weave my robe from homegrown hemp. So, hemp is great for the earth, but it's not fashionable, it's not prestigious. It's the garments of the poor, or I should say the textile of the poor. Consider, if you will, in Christendom, good old St. Francis Assisi. His primary garments were not ecclesiastical, although they were eventually adopted by the church. They were just the poorest, the plainest, cheapest robes of the poorest faction of society. Fools will always seek the most prestigious raiments. But the wise will choose that which is best, most sustainable, both for pocketbook and for ecology. Or to put it another way, the truly wise, the beauty of the truly wise is not found in their hair or their face or their garments, but in their heart and in their mind. Welcome to the third of 5 mindful crease counting meditations. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically and effortlessly coalesce at the heart region of our chest. Let's chant. A paper window, window. Okay, I want to say mace window. So window, a paper window, bamboo hood, a hedge of hibiscus, wormwood soup for tea, and when guests arrive. Simplicity is ideal. The poor people I meet are mostly content. Rare is the rich man, not vain or wasteful. It is cliche, but consistently observable, that I've never met a man content with $1 billion. They wanted 2 or 4 or 8 or 16 or 32 or 64 or 128 or $256 billion. They wanted more and more and more. I've never met a man with a modicum of power who didn't want more. Together, I move my table to read sutras by moonlight. I pick wildflowers to fill my altar vase. One could grumble that they don't have enough lights at night, or when the opportunity arises and the moon is full enough to read by, one can take advantage of it. And so we can be defeatist or we can be resourceful. The latter is the fruit of mindfulness and meditation. Everyone says sushi to heaven is fine, but how can it match this place of mind? I think it's mine. I think that's a typo on my part. Let me check that real quick with my text that's on my phone. Aha, I was correct. It was mine. We have a choice. We can contrive and force an analog of gratitude, or we can practice mindfulness and meditation and set space for gratitude to come in its own time, in its own way. The second is much more effective than the former. Welcome to the 4th of 5th Mindful Crease Counting Meditations. We're going to do something a little more complicated. Instead of resting one knuckle upon one fingertip, we're going to rest all 4 of our right knuckles upon their corresponding, upon the tips of their corresponding 4 fingers. Palms up in our lap. Doing this gently invites our real or imagined subtle energies to effortlessly and automatically coalesce in the region or at the region of our throat that we feel tighten just before tears. Every time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. Each time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are wired to physically relax and mentally release whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation. Let's meditate. To glorify the way which people turn to true words and sincere deeds that agree. But oceans of greed never fill up, and sprouts of delusion keep growing. So, integrity is a wonderful thing, not because of fear of punishment or hope for reward, just because the more we practice mindfulness and meditation effectively, the less duplicitous and deceitful we wish to be. But oceans of greed never fill up, and sprouts of delusion keep growing. Just as a hungry dog is never satisfied, but can eat until its stomach bursts and it perish. Likewise, if an ocean was empty and you filled it with riches, it would still want more. Plum trees and bloom cleans a recluse, a garden of taro cheers a lone monk. It's a good thing that life does not rain Rolls Royces upon us that would crush us to death. But life does lavish us with little teeny pleasantries. And when we notice them and cherish them, our lives are richer for it. Perhaps an affectionate meeting with a neighbor dog. Those who rigidly follow rules in their hearts never see the flexible way past the mountains. Some of us have tragic, dark, abusive pasts, and the idea of precise and fastidious obedience might have literally been beaten into us. But until we grow beyond that, we will forever be limited. An abusive childhood could condition us to be our own jailer. We now come to the last meditation of this evening's live stream, so let's make it count. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite a real or imagined subtle energies to effortlessly and automatically coalesce at the crown region of our head. Each time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics. Each time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are likewise wired. Let me adjust this real quick. We are likewise wired to physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation. Together, let us practice right now. Well, thank you for writing. So tell me what your specific need is, um, if you please. In the meantime, let's chant. Whatever comes, may all beings let it come. Whatever stays, may all beings let it stay. Whatever goes, may all beings let it go. You've taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 12 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And oops, we got an additional question. I really feel something magic. Okay, but I appreciate you sharing that, but you haven't told me specifically what you want me to pray for. So if you could do that, I'll see what I can do. But you have to act quick because the live stream's almost over. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.